Take your time if you're going that way. Use the New Jersey Turnpike, and that'll help you avoid those delays. That's a look at traffic. Mike, back to you.
Coming up on 7:30 here, President Barack Obama will officially announce his choice for the next Supreme Court justice. What about 10 o'clock this morning? But we already have an idea on who he's going to pick.
Yes, and if all goes as the president plans, this move would position the High Court to have 3 women justices for the first time. Let's bring in Senator Ted Kaufman. He joins us now with more, and he actually knows the Solicitor General. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
How long have you known her?
Well, she came to work when I was Joe Biden's chief of staff, and he was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Every time we had a Supreme Court nominee, we'd bring in some expert to help us on constitutional law. And we did Ruth Bader Ginsburg's nomination. Elena Kagan came in and did it, and she's very, very good.
What do you think is her, I guess, her biggest selling point, if you will? Why does Obama want her?
I think she's very, very smart. She has some experience. I think the fact that she's a woman is a good thing. I mean, right now in the legal profession, just loads and loads of competent women. It's time to do it. Canada has a majority of women on their court, so I think that's good having a woman. I think she was dean of the Harvard Law School. She's had some experience. We now have 8 circuit court judges, ex-circuit court judges on the court. We need judges on the court, but it really is good to have someone that has a different kind of experience, and she's going to bring that to the court. Plus, she's been Solicitor General and done what everybody believes to be a good job.
But you know how this always goes.
Oh, yeah.
The Supreme Court. It's such an important position.
There goes my summer.
I know it. Boy, the confirmation process. I mean, already. But I've already heard from some liberal websites that she might take the court to the right.
Yeah. Well, the point is that she doesn't. You don't really know because she's not had cases. She doesn't have a lot of things she's written on. But she's a good appointment. She's smart. She'll do a good job. Yeah, but it's going to be a problem. I mean, the 31 Republicans voted against her when she was up for Solicitor General. So you got to feel it's going to turn into one of those typical, partisan tongue wars, which just aren't helpful.
And just to relate it to our area, I believe Arlen Specter also voted down for her as Solicitor General.
Yeah. Well, Solicitor General's different in the Supreme Court, but I would be surprised if Arlen doesn't vote for the Supreme Court. She's just an ideal appointment for the court.
So despite, I guess if we wrap this up, despite the wrangling, if you will, you think she'll be confirmed?
Yeah, I think in the end that she'll be confirmed. And I think frankly, I think the president spent a lot of time on this, and I think he really wants to appoint someone who will be confirmed. There's always going to be a fight, but let's keep the fight. We got so many important things that we have to deal with still in this session of Congress. We still got to finish financial reform. We got to go do something about energy. We got to do something about climate change. People are talking about immigration. So hopefully we can get through the Supreme Court nominee with a minimum amount of scrambling.
Did I hear you mention financial reform?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about it last week.
Yeah, they
stock market.
Well, let me tell you. This is I don't mean to blow my own horn, but September last year I gave a speech on the floor of the Senate where I predicted this could happen. I've been following this high-frequency trading, these massive computers that people use to trade. We've gone from 30% of our trades on our markets being in high-frequency trading, these high-speed computers, to 70%. And we don't know what's going on.
So you think maybe it was more of the glitch combined with the situation in Greece because we believed the glitch to be true?
Mike, let me tell you something. I don't think we'll ever find out because we don't have the data. We don't keep track. For instance, on the trades that go on with these high-frequency, they operate so fast, 2,000 or 3,000 shares in a second. We don't keep track of who the customer is. We don't keep track of what the time of day is. That's why I asked the SEC to tag these things. And September, just April 14th, they said we're going to start we're going to have a rule to tag them. We need a sense of urgency of this. This is incredibly important, very dangerous. We have a lot of change. We've had a lot of money. We don't know what's going on. We don't have transparency. We're not regulating this thing. There's not any regulation going on. That's what happened with derivatives.
So then where do you see all this going? Will we get some reform? You're a Wharton guy. You're a business guy. You know how important this is.
Yeah, no, we're going to get reform, and we're going to get a good bill through the Senate. It doesn't have everything that I want, but it doesn't have everything what everybody else wants. I'd like to do a little bit more about the banks that are just incredibly too big, that are so complex, and which take up such a big portion of our economy, and potentially, if they failed, could cause us a real problem. But we're going to get a good bill. We're going to do something about derivatives. We're going to start working on these other issues. We still have work to do on it, though.
You see the jobs numbers last week? Of course you did. 290,000 jobs created. Only 66,000 of those government jobs. So that's a positive side. Some private sector jobs there.
Yeah. Look, here's what's going to happen. I mean, we sold this whole Recovery Act the wrong way. We kept talking about, we're going to create 10 jobs over and 15 jobs over. What you wanted to do with the Recovery Act is get the economy moving. That's what the recovery was all about, is get the economy moving. The economy is moving. That's the good news. Bad news. jobs always lag the economy. I mean, if you were running a small business and you weren't sure about the future, even when it got better, you'd hesitate. It's traumatic to lay people off.
Yeah.
So people, they don't want to hire them back in until they're really sure. So you're going to see those job numbers coming back. Now, the irony in life's full of ironies is that as the job numbers come back, as people's expectations goes up, the unemployment rate doesn't go down because all the people out there who's given up looking for a job, they're looking again.
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing where your creation of jobs is going up and your job rate's remaining the same.
Yeah, 9.7 to 9.9 because people are optimistic going back
clearly,
to the job market.
we're moving. I mean, we are moving in the right direction. Now, something else could happen. This meltdown last Thursday is not good. What's going on in Greece is very, very bad.
And terrorism always a possibility.
Is always a possibility. So
good to see you, Senator.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's do or die tonight, Chanel.
It is.
How was
it? You were there.
Oh, I was there. I was there Friday night.
Yeah.
It was so
I thought
exciting.
of you.
Did you?
Yeah.